What is going on, everybody? How's Thanksgiving treating you? Very quiet Thanksgiving where I am. It's kind of how I like it. All right, I think we're about ready to get started here. Got everything? Owen, what's happening, brother? How you doing? All right, here we go. Oh yeah. So, what are we doing? Hey, Fried, what's happening? So, what are we doing in Farm Sim 19? Well, I'll tell you. You know what? We could probably scale this too. I reinstalled this. I've had this uninstalled for almost a year. So I think, can we scale this? Yeah, I think we can. FS19, no doubt. Can we scale this in here? I don't know if we can or not. I think we can only scale this in the opening menu. Yeah, we want to... Yep, we want to make this small. You know what? We can do it. We can do it. So we'll go back here, and we'll just go back here. Yeah, it reloads quick enough. We're on SSD. So we go here, and then here. Save game. Quit game. Only in main menu? Okay, cool. We'll hop back to main menu and do it there. I hope the game doesn't crash. Hold together for me, baby. All right, seems to be doing all right. Options, we want to go here. GUI volume. Is it here? In-game HUD scale. Let's make this a lot smaller. Yeah. Smallest we can go is 50. Okay, cool. So here's what happened. Let me tell you what happened. See, what had happened was Purbeck Valley, right there. And yep. Yeah, Naveswell is one of my favorite maps ever for, let me see. It was a 15 map, was it not? And then it was Naveswell for 17. And then there was going to be Naveswell Extended. Yeah, something. And then Tom X became frustrated. And that was that. And now here it is for 19. But the reason we're here, the reason we're doing this is in cattle and crops yesterday. So I was fertilizing with the bull slurry. We ran out before we were done with the field. Now, I had calculated that field is 7 hectares. We were applying 20,000 kilograms per hectare. There were 150,000 liters at the harbor silage dealer, right? And we ran out. And there's really no way to fix that because there's nothing else that has the same chemistry as bull slurry. So we were going to make, yet again, another sort of patchwork field, another tartan field. And I think I just kind of burned out on cattle and crops. It is a challenging game, but it's got some rough edges. And I think when you've got, it's a little bit like Train Sim World. Train Sim World has some very challenging scenarios in it, but it also has some bugs. So when something goes wrong, you have to wonder, like, did I do this wrong? Or is the game broken? But at the moment, I really like cattle and crops. I really, really do. But it started to feel really, really grindy. Right? Like we had another several hours of fertilizer to look forward to before we could even begin getting crops in the ground. And then I have to remind myself sometimes these games are supposed to be fun. So with the precision farming DLC coming for 19, I thought, why don't we reinstall the game and sort of get familiar with it again. And just for the record, I am going to be fat fingering all over this map today because I've played Farm Sim franchise for about... You knew that would happen? Yeah, I thought it might. It is kind of a grindy game. But I haven't played Farm Sim in 2 months. I haven't played it since Cattle and Crops came out, and I haven't played FS19 in almost a year. But I've got the default controller config, and I use exactly the same keyboard commands and controller commands for 19 and 17. So I think I'm going to be okay, but we may get some fat finger with that. All right, so Purbeck Valley, if you don't know it, HM Agra, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. If you don't know Purbeck Valley, we go right here. There it is. It's a very tight British style map, very tight UK style map, lots of hedgerows, tiny little yards, lots of scenery. When I tested earlier, we were at 60 FPS with reshade coming off my NVIDIA card. So even bumping up the color and lighting, and on ultra settings, we're at 60 FPS. Just that alone is a nice break from Cattle and Crops. I like Cattle and Crops, have to stress that, but that 22 FPS, oy. So we are down here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it does not. Yeah, I think you can see it. So this is the store down here. It's sort of in the south center part of the map. The main farm is right up here. I sold all the equipment and just bought this little Ford that we're in, the T-Dub. But even though we have 2 million pounds, look at this. If we want to buy property like this right here, 600 grand, right? 300 grand. So we could spend $1 million just on these 2 fields. Before we buy anything, before I buy anything, let's take a spin around, right? If you're not familiar with the map, we'll take a spin around. And I believe this is Naveswell Extended, because I want to say in original Naveswell, it ended like right about in here somewhere. Yeah, I think this eastern part of the map was not in original Naveswell, but it was in Naveswell Extended. So let's pull out of the store here. We will take a right. We'll swing out to the east, take a look at this facility here, then up, back to the west, to the main farm, and we'll decide what we want to buy. I'm not buying anything until we think carefully, think clearly, and make some smart choices. All right, here we go. Oh. It's nice to be back in a map with, I wouldn't say no sight lines, but when you're on a UK style map, you can see a lot of hedgerows, and sometimes that's it, but not necessarily the worst thing. And there is a ton of scenery on this map. It is dense. And frame rate's, it's bogging down a little bit right there, but it's to be expected. But we're still in a good place. All right. Here we go. And I took the HUD down to 50%. It's awfully small for me to see, so I might bring it back up a little bit, but hopefully it's not too obtrusive, you know. I don't want it to be in your way. And we can, I've got a HUD hider, I've got the crosshairs turned off, so we can experiment a little bit. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've been in this sim, so it's going to take a minute to get used to everything again. Yep. Farm sim is, man, I was thinking about balance, because last night, to sort of clear my head, I was doing some driving in ETS. Drove from, is it Bergen? Yeah, like the westernmost city in Norway. I drove from there to St. Petersburg, which is like 1,400 kilometers. Took a nice long drive, and I was really thinking about balance in gaming. Because when you think about ETS or ATS, you just drive a truck. That's it, and nothing really happens. It's like a racing sim. You know, I've been driving laps around the same tracks around the world for years. I've probably got thousands of laps, places like Monza and Spa, and somehow it doesn't get boring. And the same with truck sim. You just drive a truck. There's a day-night cycle, and it rains, but there's not really any weather. You know, nothing really happens. You get a detour every now and then, but nothing really happens, and it still works somehow. And I was thinking about being really sort of enamored with Cattle and Crops when it dropped, because there were so many really sort of specific things to do related to the mechanics of farming. But the past couple sessions in Cattle and Crops, I've realized that it maybe needs a little bit of balancing. It is, it feels a little grindy. And being back in something like Farming Simulator, it's certainly less, I can't say it's less detailed, but it does have less of the farming mechanics. Did we want to turn right there? We did. Okay. All right, we're good. All right. And then back up this way. It's got less of the farming mechanics than Farm Sim. But it's, I don't know. It could be because it's one map with limited equipment. that it really seems, I don't know. I told somebody in Discord yesterday, it feels almost like a tech demo in some ways. It feels like something that you would take to investors and say, this is the core of our game, but we intend to build it out by adding more content, more maps, and that sort of thing. So I'll stress again, there's nothing wrong with Cattle and Crops. Maybe it just needs a little bit of tuning, maybe a little bit of balancing, but I sort of hit a wall yesterday when I realized I would either need to somehow try to fix Field 12, or we would have to start again. And I don't know, I just wasn't up for it. But with the precision farming DLC coming and definitely wanting to test that in mid-December, I thought maybe the next 2 weeks is as good an opportunity as any to sort of refamiliarize myself with Farm Sim. So on December 12th, we're not, you know what I mean, floundering. All right, and from here we go, looks like to the left. Okay. There may not be any traffic on this road. There's some very narrow lanes on this map. I say that like I'm an expert. I know there were very narrow lanes on Knaveswell, and since this is I guess a convert of Knaveswell, we can expect the same. So yeah, we'll buy some fields and we'll decide what to do first. Having easier fried, it adds soil chemistry. At the moment, they're talking a lot about pH, and I don't know if it's just a simple value, whether it's a binary value and you're just trying to get into a green zone, or whether it's a scaled value where the closer you are to optimal, the better your crops grow. And I don't know if within pH there are other chemistries or if it's just a single value at this time. But I think it's a response to Cattle and Crops, a good response. But I think Giants may be aware of Cattle and Crops. Well, certainly they're aware of it, but I think they may be aware of a contingent of Farm Sim players that do want more of that mechanical aspect of farming, the nuts and bolts of it. So I think it's their attempt to bring some of the same technology, the same stuff into the Farm Sim franchise. Right. So this is our farm. The thing that I've always loved about Knaveswell is we'll go third person here and take a look at this. I'll zoom out for you. All right, stop that, and we go here. It's on both sides of this little lane right here. I've always liked that. It's got to me, that's a very, I don't know, authentic look, a very appropriate look. But we've got, you know what, we'll hop back in here, turn this off, we'll hop out, here we go, take a look around. And if we look on our big map, we've got, are those, I think this is a cow, yeah, because it's got a wee udder. I think that's cows. Sheep are over here. Pigs right down here. Or these both... Yeah, these are both wool. These are both sheep. Pigs right here. And... horses here. Chickens here. We don't mess with those. Okay, so we're at the dairy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm really curious what they do with it. And you know what? Talking about balance, I'm curious if I assume the devs at Giants have played Cattle and Crops. If they're smart, they have. But I'm curious if they haven't taken note of maybe some of the frustrations that a person could feel while they were playing Cattle and Crops and use that to balance their take on soil chemistry. Right, so dairy here. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not the main farm. This is the main farm. It's one farm over. So we're at the wool. Well, I guess we got two wool. One here, one here. This looks like a placeable area, if I had to guess. This is the dairy. So let's drive down the street to the dairy. We'll take a look in here. All right, so back out of that. Back into the T-dub. Here we go. Fire up. There's going to be a little pause before I do some things, because I am Like I said, not quite back into the muscle memory yet. So what was I complaining about before? Something. Oh, as far as the depth of what they bring in. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking it will be something you can turn off. Like seasons, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. And I know there is a sandbox mode in Cattle and Crops. I didn't try it, but I don't know if that disabled, well, really everything. Because as long as those complex fertilizer calculations are in effect, you're going to be doing a lot of fertilizing in that sim. To the point where I wouldn't say that it's like onerous, you know, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. So the best word that I can use is balancing. If they could maybe find a way to balance that a little bit. Like if there was a feature to contract out all your spring fertilizing to a contractor for a fee, right? You click the button and then it's just done. But it did cost you money, so it's not necessarily something you can abuse, right? You can't just do that every season, you'd run out of money. But if you just weren't in the mood to fertilize, maybe you could pay your neighbor to do it one season or something like that. Unknown. Balance. Wow, the tractors really do drive a lot different. All right, so we'll turn this off. We're going to hop out. Hopefully we don't clip through the wall, but we may. Not too bad. All right, so this is the main farm. Oh, memories of this. Looks very different in 19 as far as like the textures and the lighting, but the layout is very, very similar. So we got parking right here through this sort of narrow area here. We've got some pits. We've got some more parking. Yeah, this is bringing back memories. It's getting me in my feels. Now I want to say there was a grain dryer. There were some add-ons in 17. Some things that I really wasn't into. And we do have interactive zone markers are turned off. But when we get ready to open the dairy, we'll turn those back on so we can find everything. Okay, so we got right up here. Yep. And then through here, that's poo pit. I don't know off the top of my head. Oh yeah, the mud. You remember this, Fried? Driving down to this little sneaky field back here. Is this the... Where's the turnoff? Where's that little field that you go into, like, from the corner of the yard? We'll have to wander around a little bit and find it. Slurry pit right there. Yeah, this had... I feel like some map makers were, I wouldn't say abusing the mud mod, but they were really having fun with it when it was first a thing. It might be over here. We got to find it now. Back in the corner of this yard. Yeah, this could be right here. Back in the corner of this yard, there is a tiny little sloping 2-track cutoff down to a field. And when it had the mud mod going, good luck. Is it? Yeah, it's not here. We'll find it. We'll find it. I haven't been on this map in probably 2+ years. I don't know where anything is. All right. So that is the main farm. Come right over here. Yeah, this was one of my favorite maps in 17. I got hooked pretty bad on UK style maps. I think Coldborough Park was the first 15 map that really resonated for me. And I only played 15 for a few months before 17 came out, and then it was a few months after that when 17 had been converted by Bullet Bill, and I was all about that. Northern Coast, who makes that? Who's the map maker for Northern Coast? All right, and we're going to need to make some decisions here. All right, let's buy some land. We go here. We go here. This looks like grass all around us. What are we thinking? We want to start with grass? Do we want to start with arable? Take a quick look here. I think I've got a Yeah, we've got pig food we can buy. We've got wheat that we can buy. Fertilizer, seeds, road salt. Greenbell? Right on. Oh, and what was the other one that he made? Oh, and if you're still in the chat, what was the Greenbell map that we were playing? Herbicide, molasses, that's for straw harvest. Pig food. All right, I don't see TMR, but we can buy, if we go back here, Greenwich, that's the one. If we go back here, we can buy silage bales. So we can buy straw, hay, and silage. So we can make our own TMR if we have to. Okay, what are we thinking? You want to do grass fields to start and make our own hay and silage? Or do you want to do arable and buy hay and silage to make cow food? Because if we buy this, I mean, it's a big chunk of money, but we'd get some things done. By this plot right up here, we get 1 grass, 1 arable. It's only 300K. How about over here? And then this one. So if we did this, that's 4 plus 3 is 7. That's too much. We'll have to get that later. So 3 and 4 is 7. And this would be 1.2. That'd be 1.2 million. That would leave us 700,000. And we don't have a bank loan. Or do we? Let's double check that. Oh, our loan is 250. Let's pay this off first so we know, right? So we know the real numbers we're dealing with. We'll get rid of all our debt. All right, so there's that. And we'll go back here. We've got now 1.7. 1.7. Okay, so if we buy this one, that's 3. That would be 7. And 6, that'd be 1.3. We'd have 400 grand. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to buy that one. We're going to buy this one. We're going to buy this one. All right. And we're going to need another tractor. So before we do anything else, let's get that going. So we'll go here. And is it this one? I saved my mods. I don't know why it occurred to me to do that, but I saved all my mods, so I still have... This is my fast track. It's got my old logo in the back window. Oh my goodness. All right. So we'll just leave that as is. I'll put some Michelin tires on it. Design, we'll leave that the same. We'll throw a beacon on there. No front loader. 235. That's plenty. That's actually a little heavy for this map. And what are we going to pay for this thing? 177 grand. Oh, how do we go broke? Just like that. All right. So now, I try not to tab, but I think we're going to have to one time. We're going to tab into the JCB. We're going to grab a FERT spreader. We're going to load it up, and we're going to come up to these arable fields right over here and get these going. And we get there. Let me see. We will come up from the store right up the center of the map and then head east. And we'll get up there this way. All right, done. Here we go, tabbing. All right, and do we want to... 200 grand. I think we're going to have to lease everything from here out. I think we will. But that's not terrible. We want fertilizer technology. This is from the Vernaland and VCon pack. And this was released when I was not playing the game. So I haven't used any of this equipment yet. So we'll lease this. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's like 5% of the price. All right, we'll lease that. And we need some pellet fert. Come over here. What's this thing hold? 3,200. So we need back this way. Pellet fert. Where are we at? Here we go. That's 1,000. So we need 3 of these. Oi, $6 grand. Yeah, it's the first I've seen of it, but it looks nice. It does. Here's 2,000 for 3,200. I think that's a little bit better. Not really. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I mean, it's a few hundred. All right. Let's just get 3 of these. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right. So the other thing we need to do is swap this over because we are running the vehicle add-on. So we want what transmission would be in this? Power shift or CVT? We'll try this to start. All right. Fire up. That thing is right there. Where's the front of it? Front of it is... There we go. Okay. You know, there's so many different ways that a game can be immersive. When I mean, just visually, the way this game looks compared to... Let me square that off. It's no good. Just visually... the way this game, or I guess 17, even though 17 and 19 do look different, just the way they look compared to Cattle and Crops, I find to be a bit more immersive. All right, let's pull up here. And we want open that. We want to lower it. There we go. And also the way that some of the equipment works, you know, and it's a trade-off because admittedly these tractors don't handle the same way that tractors do in Cattle and Crops, right? They don't have that same feeling of weight. They're kind of floaty and the front end bounces around. So they do feel different, you know, but it's not, I don't know, it's not terrible. It's just different. And so you're constantly balancing those things. Like the game, we can almost get a 4th one in there, but not quite. Not quite. We're gonna have to come back down here and refill anyway. Maybe not though. We might be able to refill at the farm. So I feel like you're always balancing that. Where's, oh, there it is. Where, you know, this sim has this feature, but it's missing this. And then the next one has the first thing, but it doesn't have the second thing. Yeah, agreed, Ernie. Very much so. And in fairness, you know, I can sort of blame myself. If I burn out on a game, I can sort of blame myself because I'm the one who was binging on it. And it could be that if I was not trying to, you know, blow through all that fertilizing in one session, and just doing a little bit of it every night, that I would be... I'm certainly not down on Cattle and Crops. I'm just sort of over it at the moment. But same thing happened with FS19. All right, so we want to go... Where's my mini-map? We want to go up here and then take the first right. All right. The thing that finally sort of prompted me to uninstall 19 was I was looking for a little bit more depth. I was looking for a little bit more complexity in the game. So I got Global Company going and installed some of the facilities. Pallet factory, the lumber mill, right? And after a couple hours of that, I just felt like Global Company was running me all over the map. Like, you've got to go here to get the diesel and put it in the generator at the lumber mill. Then you got to go cut trees and take trees to the lumber mill. Then you have to take the board lumber to the pallet factory. Then you take the scraps from the pallet factory to the barrel factory. Hang on, let me read. Bobed. You know, Fried, sometimes I am. And that's when we were chatting yesterday about what games I would take with me if I was going to prison, right? Like, if I could only take 3 games with me, I think one of them might be Project Cars 2, which is by no means the most accurate or realistic race sim that I've ever played. But when you look at the variety of tracks, the variety of cars, the sound, the weather, the day-night cycle, everything else, it's not the best racing simulator, but it's sort of the most fun racing simulator. It's certainly not as realistic when it comes to physics as R Factor 2 or Race Room or something, but Race Room doesn't have a day-night cycle. And Assetto Corsa Competizione doesn't have any historical cars. So when you balance everything out, sometimes the ability of a game to just be fun to play, it's like we lose sight of that sometimes. Games are just supposed to be fun. I think so. I've got some realism mods going. That was a save game, I hope. Save game or loading scenery. I mean, I'm running seasons for one thing. I've got vehicle control add-on. I've got... I don't think More Realistic ever made its way to FS19. But I've got the crosshair remover. I've got... we've got a HUD hider. You know, we've got some things we can do to make the game a bit more realistic. But beyond that, I think it's just a balance. You know, how well is the game balanced, and how fun is it to play? I think we're doing okay. And we're going to take this little lane just to the west of field 3-7, between 3-7 and 4-0. What I'd like to do... Aiden, how you doing? How's Thursday treating you? What I'd like to do, I think, because this tractor has more horsepower, is let's get our first loads of FERT spread. Moment. Yeah, we gotta turn here. Let's get our first loads of FERT spread, and then we will swap over the spreader. Don't hit the sign. We'll swap over the spreader to the Ford, and we'll put a either a plow or a cultivator on the JCB and have them get started getting these fields turned over to get them ready for crop. All right. Oh, look at that. Is that some of that famous UK cotton? I think it might be. All right. So stop here. Let's get this gate open. Oh, it's fantastic. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm doing great, man. I had a really good week. And 3-7. Oh, you know what? This isn't even where we want to be. JK, LOL. We want these 3 arable fields over here. Here we go. Oh, it's so nice to be back on a UK-style map. I love it. One thing I don't love, though, is... is it there? Hang on. This looks like... Yeah, that's not it. Is it over here, or do we go into it through there? Ah, here it is. Okay. All right. So back in here. I also feel like this was the first map, because Coldborough Park is kind of, I mean, it's not wide open, but it's a lot more open than this. I feel like Knaveswell is one of the first maps where I really started to appreciate 100 to 200 horsepower equipment, because you really can't get around this map with big equipment, and certainly not with big trailers or big implements. All right. And, I was just thinking, we need to go into a menu and have one of our workers start spreading fert on these grass fields, and then I remembered you can't necessarily do that. And we can do it with course play, but we'll have to set it up. All right, so we've got, now if I can remember how to do this. So this is VCA. So we want to go here. We want to go here, here. 24, 28. 24. Okay, so that's automatically lined up. And we want to bring this down right there. Right, and then is it Control W? There we go. So we want right there. Yeah, it really does, Ernie. Listen, I need you to do something for me. And it's not wanting to snap. What's our hitting right now? Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. Maybe I see the problem. So we're at, if we go exactly 90 degrees, do we get exactly 90 degrees? Stop. We do. Okay. I can't see, let me go third person for a minute. I can't see where the side of the marker is. Yeah, we can slide that over a little bit. All right. Suspend your disbelief. We need to break the immersion momentarily. AB. Here, we're on 91 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. So then we go back in here, right? And turn this thing on is X. And then cruise control is like, no, that's not it. No. No. I don't know what's happening right now. I'll have to turn that up. There's cruise control. All right. I'll go into the menu at the end of this row and we'll turn the radio off. It's not, I have the volume set to 0, but I'll turn it off just the same. All right. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a long minute since I've been in this game. Since I've been in anything in the Farm Sim franchise, and definitely in FS19, it's been nearly a year. You know, I think the best of both worlds for us as sim farmers would have been right, and then turn that off. I think the best of both worlds for us as sim farmers would have been if Cattle and Crops was a paid master mod for the Farm Sim franchise. So we want that. We want, nope. We want that. Is that right? I think that's right. All right. And then that. And like that. I need to remember what the key combo is to turn the steering on and off, because I'm doing Control W, left Control W, and I think that resets it every time. So whatever our, like wherever we are on the field, that's where it's going to reset it to. I need to just turn the steering on and off. All right, we'll figure it out. Yeah, this is... it's not nearly as demanding. Fried, for me, I think PC2 is my favorite one. It's got the most cars. It looks the best. Well, no, I take that back. Project Cars 3, I think, looks better. But it's a little bit more in the style of a Forza type game or a Need for Speed. We want to be right here. Yeah, I just want to turn steering back on because I feel like even if we're lined up, when we do a Control W, it's going to reset this. No, it left it over there. Okay. All right, so we'll turn this on. There we are. And there's cruise control. I like Project Cars 2. Project Cars 3 looks fun. It's just not for me. And the original Project Cars looks a little bit dated, and it's got a reduced stable of cars and fewer tracks. So for me, it's PC2. What kind of racing do you do, Fried? Like, what's your preferred car to race in? And as tight as these hedgerows are, I've been trying to sort of bring this around at the end of the row, right? Like bringing it sideways. And it's crazy to think like what we can get away with in FS19 as far as over applying fertilizer, because if we did this in cattle and crops, this field would be glowing red by the time we were done with it. All right, so right there, turn this on. There we go. Yeah, I would say Project Cars 2. If you like historical cars, I think PC2. Race Room is really good, and they do have a lot of historical cars, but I feel like they're really super focused on German cars and German racing. They do it really, really well, but in the same way that Assetto Corsa was focused primarily on like Italian cars. They had other cars from other countries, but there were a lot of Italian cars in Assetto Corsa. There are a lot of German cars and German series in Race Room. And it doesn't have a day-night cycle. Assetto Corsa Competizione is really, really good, but it is absolutely limited to GT3, GT4 racing. If you're into that, you're in luck. But if you want a little bit more variety, it's not the best sim for that. It looks amazing, though, and the physics, I think the physics are really, really good in Assetto Corsa Competizione. I know some people don't like it, but I find it to be really, really good. All right, so now we want to go down this driveway. I think we go through this yard, maybe? And that's how we get to 7, 6, and 2. Hey, Ben. How you doing? Yeah. If you weren't here earlier, I kind of burned myself out on cattle and crops. I needed to take a little break. And I think with the precision farming DLC being released in a couple of weeks, it's a good idea to sort of familiarize myself or refamiliarize myself with the game. So when that does drop, we can get right into playing with it rather than trying to sort of relearn the game. All right, we're going to go right up here. Now, I think this is how we get through there. Yeah, everything is on sale on Steam. I had to like keep myself correct last night and almost got ugly. The only sort of saving grace to my current Steam situation is I feel like I already own every game that I want to buy. So other than new releases, there's really nothing else for me to buy. That sounds kind of ridiculous to say out loud, but yeah, I get issues with Steam. I think it's up this way. I'm not comparing. Dirt Rally 2.0 is awesome. Once you figure out your graphics settings to get it to play smooth, it's a little tricky, but once you get Dirt Rally 2.0 sorted, that game is a riot. You get such a feeling of speed. Like the way they've set the graphics up, you just get this amazing feeling of going really, really fast. It's done very well. I thought it was through here, but it's not. So we're going to need to go down here. And now when I say this, as always, I love all my kids. I don't have a favorite. So it's going to sound like I'm comparing a lot, and I'm not. I'm just noticing some differences. It is definitely a feature of the Farm Sim franchise, and particularly UK style maps, that you do have to like figure out how the hell to get into a field. I did not have that problem on Cattle and Crops. All right, let's go third person here. And is there a gate up there? This is field 7. How do we get into... Ah, there's a gate right there. Okay, so this is 7. Let's head up top. Fried, if you ever want to post a link to a game that's on sale in the Discord, you're more than welcome to do that. I mean, anybody is. Just post it in whatever category, whatever channel is most appropriate for it. But if you see something that's like on super sale, by all means, let people know. I do try to, we're all looking to save money when we can. So if you see something on sale, don't be shy. Shows the entrances to the fields on the map. That's cool. You remember what map it is? We'll get back up here. Is that about right? 270. We want to be 270. There we go. And then we'll say, yeah, it is. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do that. Hang on. Homeworld Farms. Okay. 4X UK. Oh, that's right. Don't you play... Somebody plays like really big maps. What are we looking for here? Radio off. There we go. And I do click save game when I come out of this menu. I don't think I have to. Just in the habit of doing that. All right. I think if we go third person, I think... Oh, you know what? We need to reset. Moment. There we are. And it does. That gives us 265. And we want 270. So let's do this. I know guidance steering is a more comprehensive system. I know people prefer it. I just like the vehicle add-on. So we go here now. 270, 270. Yeah, that's not perfect, but we'll take it. And again, I mean, how long have we been streaming? 52 minutes. It's taken 52 minutes for me to get lazy. As restrictive and demanding as Cattle and Crops is, I have to say it feels sort of nice to be able to. I mean, we'll go through all the steps. I have plowing turned on. I'm running seasons. I'm all about making this game as realistic as it can be, and at the same time sort of acknowledging that it's not the kind of game that really can be super realistic. But I know, and we want this one right here. I know I got Zeusy, and then we want that this way. I got Zeusy and tried it a couple times, and there we go. It's the most realistic train driving game I've ever played, and it was just too goddamn hard. It wasn't even close to fun. Part of that is I don't speak German, but it is absolutely... Cheers. Thanks, Fred. It's a training tool for people that operate trains in real life. So it's very, it's a training tool. It's the difference, I think, between playing a flight simulator in the evening and going out to some big warehouse out by the airport and being tested in a flight simulator because you're an airline pilot and that's part of your job, that might not be the most fun day. You know, that might be kind of a stressful day. Whereas for us, if we play a flight simulator, it's just a good time. Zeusy struck me more as, it wasn't quite work, you know, but it was so hard that it really wasn't fun. And you compare that to something like Train Sim World 2, which is arguably not super realistic, but I really enjoy it. So, you know, always finding that balance between something being unrealistic and something being too realistic. Go there, and then get this swung around. Nope. Where's my key command? There it is. And get this going. Okay, so back on guidance. There we go. Turn that on. Here we go. Yeah, I really like Project Cars 2. The AI is, it's not the best. You'll have to find a sweet spot for it. I think it's really, really difficult. I think the AI is, I mean, you gotta kind of dial it back to even stand a chance. But when you slow it down too much, it's like it becomes so dumb that it's almost harder. Like the AI are obviously driving so slow that they're driving really badly. And in its own way, I think that makes it it's sort of harder. All right, turn that on. Get this going. And what do you want to do here? What's the realistic way to do this? We'll just go ahead up to here. Yeah, I don't want to play unrealistically, but I'm mindful as we're spreading FERD here that this is an entirely different sort of dynamic than cattle and crops. And you know, I'm guessing that there are people that this just absolutely drives them nuts to see somebody playing this way. You know, here's me trying to be realistic, but mindful of the fact that to a certain type of player, this is just, you know, intolerable. All right. Not quite lined up. We're pretty close. All right, so turn this on. Cruise control. There we go. And then I think just one more pass in the corner there. And at the moment, we've done enough fertilizing and we're right up the street from the farm. So let's, how do we want to do this? Can't afford another tractor. I guess we could lease a tractor. Yeah, let's do that. There's that. And about here. Oh. There we are. All right. Like so. Turn that on. There we go. And we used, we had, what, 3,000 liters. So we've used approximately half. I do. I've got a wheel. I only use it for racing sims. I don't use it for anything else. I don't drive the truck with a wheel, and I don't drive tractors with the wheel. All right. I'm going to stop right here. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to back up. Hang on. I've got a Thrustmaster TMX Pro with pedals. Let's pull this up right over here. Get it up out of the way. Yep. I'll leave this right here. All right. Engine off. Let's hop out here. We're going to tab one more time. I think I think we need to lease. Because look at the size of that field up top. That's got fertilizer on it. We need to get it cultivated. Or, well, I guess we could hit it with a subsoiler. But even this thing, let's go 250. Let's lease a tractor with 250 horsepower. So we'll say medium. And let's try to get something new from a DLC. We'd go with something like this. That's 150. 205. This could be a contender right here. We don't want to go too big. It's a pretty small map, but something bigger than the Ford. Yeah, let's do something from the Kloss pack. So we'll go here. Right. Oh, that's right. We got the Agri Bumper mod. Oh, hell yeah. All right. 215, 235, 250. That's what we want. We're going to lease this. Oi! 10 grand. Oh, well. That's my fault. My fault for buying too many fields. And we also want to lease a subsoiler. What are we thinking? I think everything's going to be... That's 4 meter. This is 4 meter, and it's base game. So we know it'll work. Let's go ahead and lease this. I use this a lot. Or I did when I played a lot. So we'll go ahead and lease that. Pick up your leased vehicle from the store. Would love to. And let's tab right there, and right there. Okay. And that thing is... Pull forward a little bit. Yep. All right. Get hooked up. I think that's centered. Feels like it's off center. All right, and we'll be on our way. I remember how to get there. How'd we go? We went left out of here, first right, and then all the way up north. Okay. I think because that top field is pretty square or rectangular, I think we can just put a dumb worker in there. I don't think we need to get into course play straight away. Yeah, I feel like this tractor is right at the limit of too big for this map. Well, in fairness, even the fast track is too big for this map. But we got to get things done, right? Can't be dilly-dallying. We need the power. I was glad that I saved my mods because I've got a bunch of... It used to be CD models, but now it's... Is it 4D modding? Yeah. They're the crew that make all the UK and Ireland trailers. But I've got some of their trailers that I made my own edits to. And I saved them. When I uninstalled 19, I saved them. Which is not... it's not entirely typical for me. I like to keep a clean hard drive. So I'm glad I saved those because I don't have to go back in and redo all those. And I saved that fast track as well. A vehicle control add-on is not... Whoa, light on the front wheels. Wow. Vehicle control add-on is not quite the same as Gearbox and more realistic. It doesn't have that same weight that you feel in 17 tractors. But it's better than base game. Oh. I've got the steering sensitivity turned all the way down. And it's like you just bump the stick the tiniest little bit and it makes these big abrupt kind of changes. All right, right through there carefully, and our turn is not this one, right? Go to the next one. and then all the way up the hill. And I feel like we're just about to snag a fence post and like half turn this thing sideways. Carefully. Now when they plant hedgerows, when they do maintenance on walls, that sort of thing, do they take into account like how wide equipment is for the farms in the area? You want to go... oh yeah, it's around the bend. Yeah. It's been a minute since we've had these sorts of tight roads. I love it. Alright, and then up here and all the way up top. Yep. Here we go. I'm just curious if a council is like aware of the equipment that local farmers have, or if over the, I don't know, what would that be, decades, centuries, if roads have sort of evolved and been built appropriate to the type of farming that happens in that area and the type of equipment that those farmers would use. And I think we're running, yeah, we're running smart AI, are we not? We are. I don't remember how to open it. I might have to take a look in my key commands to see how we open smart AI. All right, and we'll work top to bottom, as always. Right up here. I mean, it looks like the top side of this field is straight east and west, so we should be okay. I want to say, okay, so it's got to go the other way then, Owen. Like if you're a farmer, you only buy... Okay, I got you. So if you're a farmer, you know the area that you live in, naturally, and you would only buy equipment that you could move on those roads. Like you wouldn't get something, naturally, you wouldn't get something wider than the road, but if the road has a maximum of like 4 or 5 meters width with obstacles on the sides, you would be using 3 and 4 meter equipment. Makes sense. All right, we want, is it this? It is, wow. Somehow, I remember that. I don't think we need this at the moment. And we want, AI info. No, is it Alt H? Nope. It's not that. Is it? Nope, it's not that. We want the HUD. Where do we get our HUD? Yeah, vehicle mode. No. Let's look in the controls. Oh, that's true too. You couldn't even get it through the gates. Yeah, good call. I was thinking specifically of the roads, but you do have the gates as well. So we need, is it vehicle AI? Try down here. VCA. Tip side. It's guidance steering. That's follow me. Course play. Course play. Here we go. Shit, that's the one I'm looking for. Okay. So we want this. We're going to have regular AI. And we're just going to go side to side. All right. Let's try it. Here we go. And I'm going to hop out here. And let's see how they do. Okay. Man, there's some grade to this field. Look at that. All right. There they go. And let me look at the time here. It is 2 minutes after 4 for me. 2 minutes after 4 local time. All right, Fred. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. See you soon. I say it's going to be at least an hour till the Colossus is done with this field. That's okay, though. That's all right. We're in no hurry. And we will, yeah, we can run again. I do have a run trigger configured on this game. I never got one done on Cattle and Crops, but we can run here. So we'll run back over to the JCB, And we've got 2 more fields to do. I think we can get both those done with the fertilizer that we have on board. And we may be able to get field 3-7 done. Maybe. Where are we? We may be able to get field 3-7 done. If we do, I think that might be enough fertilizing for today, because these 4 fields, they're not small. And we're subsoiling them now, so we'll get our plow buff. And then we'll still have to decide what crop we want to put in here and get some grass going, because we want to get those cows going as well. All right, and is there a gate up here? Get up to this next field. Yep, there sure is. Beautiful. All right, it's all coming back to me. Here we go. So right in here. All right, fire up. There we go. And we'll try to, as much as possible, we'll try to stay to the edge of the field here. Even though we got a ripper on the Kloss, so any compaction we'll sort that out before we plant. Man, precision farming, I don't know. I don't know if it's something I don't even know what's going to be in it. And whether it's going to be good, bad, other, who knows. So I don't know the complexity of it when it's released, and I don't know if they plan on adding anything to it, making it bigger later. But I would love to see compaction in this game. I really would. And I don't know how you would sort that out, or how it would look like at the end of the year. Would it just be areas of reduced yield, or would those areas be dead, or would it be you wouldn't be able to see a visual difference, but you would know that field had lower productivity because you didn't subsoil it? Unknown. All right, so we want to reset. Do that. It's pretty good. I'll take it. Turn that on. And there's cruise control. All right, here we go. And that's a little fast, is it not? Well, that's the speed that the implement is allowing us to go. The cruise control is set at 40, but the spreader is keeping our speed down. All right, so we go there, and then we go here. Is that correct? Yep. Back this up. All right. Back on here. Turn that on. Oh, I'm sorry, our speed is capping at 12 miles per hour. It still seems a little bit fast, but if that's what the implement is letting us do, we'll just go with it. So, then around here. All right. All right, so we're making pretty good progress, and this will be, we'll take the spreader back to the farm and set it aside for now. I'd like to get fertilizer in all these fields, and we'll have to do multiple layers of it. 12 is appropriate? Okay. Seemed a little bit fast, but I think it might be because this field is kind of small. Like, the fence is coming up on us kind of quickly. All right, so we go here, like so. All right, here we go. And, oh, we got to do weeds too. That's right, I forgot about weeds. All right. I mean, it's been a minute since I've been in the game. And I think maybe, being away from it, I've sort of lost sight of the fact that it is it does have some detail to it. It's certainly not as detailed and not as technical as cattle and crops, but it's got some layers, you know? There's quite a few things you need to do to bring a crop in. All right, let's go here. We're going to pretend, suspend your disbelief, we're going to pretend we have half row cut off. And I'm so mad that I have not been playing this game with track IR from day one. It really makes a big difference. This is the most time I've ever been first person in Farm Sim in like 4 years that I've been playing. This is the most time I've ever spent in cab. But it's night and day with track IR. I love it. Right up there. And done. All right. So we got one more little field here, number 6. And then we can drop this rig off. And we're not quite ready to call it yet. Haven't even been going for an hour and a half. We'll figure something out. You know what I can do is I can work on some of these fields. I can either subsoil or cultivate while the class is doing their thing. Let's be right about there. So we'll reset. And plug that in. Yep, that's pretty good. Cruise control. Turn that on. Oh, look at that. I was saying half row cutoff. We could have just left the field guidance, the VCA. We could have left the VCA heading where it was, because we got overspray right through the fence and right through those little hedges into this field. We could have just picked up our next row from down here. All right. You know, even the variety of equipment is, I don't know. It's a nice, it's nice to be able to look through my own mods, the mods from the mod hub, and just sort of pick and choose exactly what equipment you think would be appropriate. You know, what would be not just the size, but what would a farmer in the UK, what would a farmer in Ireland, what would a farmer in the United States, like what would they have for equipment? What would their yard look like? Or your own personal favorite equipment, or however you want to set it up. You know, to have that, to have the option of sort of building your own yard. And I do think that stuff will make its way to Cattle and Crops eventually. But if it's not coming from modders, and it's a small development team, and they've got their hands full trying to optimize the game, I don't know when that content is going to make its way to the game. I hope it's soon. I think it could, I don't want to say make or break that game, but I think the quicker there is either more maps or a second map or something, but as soon as there can be more content for that game, the better. All right, I'm going to turn here, and I think, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that last little tiny row over there. Try to be somewhat realistic. All right, and we will come here, and then like so, and cruise control. There we go. So I'm trying to think what, so we got the Caverneland Vicon DLC, we got the Borgo DLC, the Anderson DLC. I don't think there's anything in there that we can use at the moment. Same with Borgo, that's all very big equipment. Turn that off. Let's take a look. What do we have for, I know we've got plenty of cultivators, but let's take a look here and see if we've got anything. This is the Alpine farm. That's Borgo, that's too big. Just try to use something we haven't used before. This is 240, we're at 235. That's a possibility, that's out. That ain't happening. And these are all from, that's all from a mod pack. Yeah, I think So it could be this 3 meter. That's pretty small. But you know what? These fields that we're in right now, they're pretty small. Go here. Anything in here? Yeah, just regular mods. Power Harrow. Power Harrows right here. Anything? No, we go straight into mods. Disc Harrow. Anything in here? Yeah, 3 meter from the Alpine pack. Well, I mean, we could lease the counterpart to what the class has on it. The class has this 4 meter. We could lease this 3 meter and do these 2 small fields while we're waiting. I don't want to just fertilize the whole episode. Try to mix it up a little bit. And we can't start seeding yet because we don't have any fields that are done. Let's go with something fun. Something we haven't used before. I've never used this before because I just downloaded the pack today. So let's lease this. All right. I'm going to have some coffee too. I'm starting to get a little dry. All right. And to get out of here, we go... it's over there, isn't it? Yep. And we're right up the lane from the farm, so we can go drop this off, drop this spreader off. Go pick up that little cultivator and come down here and work on these fields. So I guess the 2 small fields, because the implement on the class right now is a subsoiler, so that is, you get the plow buff, but it gives you the cultivator finish. Is that how it works? Something. But the cultivator that we're going to use, we won't get the plow buff. But it's only 10%, and it's on 2 relatively small fields, so I think maybe we'll plow those next season. We don't need to worry about them straight away. Right to here. Yeah, for all this detail and all the clutter on this map, clutter in a good way, for all the detail and all the clutter, it's playing really fast and really smooth. No complaints about the frame rate. I don't know what it's going to look like when the trees come in. And we are on ultra settings, so I can maybe back that down a little bit. So as we progress through seasons and things start to green up and get a little bit more, I don't know, more textures on the map, more polys to render, if our frame rate drops off at all, I can maybe back a couple settings off and make sure everything's running nice and smooth. Very carefully through here. Very nice. And we've got all these grass fields. Yeah. I mean, if we want to leave all the, what I think of as the realism settings, if we want to leave all of those on, yeah. Where do we put this thing? Back right up in here. And I'm going to leave this. This is probably the most thoughtless thing you could do, to leave that right there. Well, it's not just thoughtless, but if the person coming down that 2-track doesn't have a way to hook that thing up to a tractor and move it, they're just trapped up there. It's not very cool. What was I upset about? What was I complaining about? Oh, right. We're not multiplayer, and when I was buying land... let's get our brakes set here. When I was buying land... Right, so we've got these fields. And then we've got this arable field right here. You know what? I might put grass in 3.7. Because we've got grass to the sides of it. And we've got grass down here. So yeah, let's put grass in 3.7. And then we'll have 4 arable, 4 grass. Okay. But even just the small amount of fields. We have 8 fields out of this entire map. at a certain point, if you're slow playing, it really does get to be a handful, like trying to get everything done in time. And I think one of my biggest frustrations with seasons is that you can't, down here, you can't skip whole days. You can only go fast through the day and then sleep through the night, but you can't skip from the last day of fall to the first day of spring. And if you got animals, it's a grind, man, because I just feed all my animals, and then I immediately speed through the day, sleep through the night, wake up the next day, muck out the stalls, feed the animals, and I do that to get through winter. I would love to see a feature in seasons where, based on the number of animals that you have, if you could get your consumables above a certain threshold, and you'd have to probably put them in a designated area. I don't think it would just be able to detect them on the map. But if there was a designated structure and you put 25 silage bales and 50 hay bales and 12 straw bales or whatever amount the game calculated your animals were going to need that winter. And also you'd need money in the bank because you're going to have to pay a contractor. But if you had all those things above the cutoff, right, like above the minimum, then you could just hit a button and it would take the game all the way through winter, burning through those supplies and costing you money, but you'd be able to skip from, well, you could do it any time of year, but I would use it to get through winter. That is, I think, the only downside of seasons. Let's go through there. I think 17 looks better than 19, but 19 is not, it's not a bad looking game. I think, hang on, let me check one more thing. I think we still have, do we? Yeah, it's still on. I am running reshade at the moment, and I don't think it's doing a lot to our frame rate. I think we're still pretty good. Yeah. Go left here, is that correct? And like so. And then down here. Yep, I think this was the right call. I was really, I don't know. By the time I got done with cattle and crops yesterday, I was really, I knew I needed something different. And just taking a look around on Steam at everything that was on sale and not really seeing anything that caught my eye, and then realizing it's a title I already own. Carefully. There we are. All right, it's the first time I've used this, and in fact, we can, let's hop out and take a look at it. This is the first time I've ever seen this in-game. Yeah, it looks clean. Textures are good. Lighting looks good. Dynamic hose. Yeah. Yep, I used to use Reshade, the one that you had to install, and then when NVIDIA licensed it, I just use it straight off the card. There's really, I don't think there's any impact on FPS whatsoever. I know some people think there might be, but I find it to be as fast as not having any type of shaders added at all. And you know what? We can do this right here. So what I'll do is I'll turn it off. I'll turn my shaders off. Let's see the difference. So this is off, right? And then on looks like that. And I'm running vibrance, sharpen, brightness and contrast, saturation, and vignette. I think it just makes it pop a little bit, you know? Just adds a little bit of, I don't know, gives it almost like a cinematic look. But the great thing about shaders and reshade is you set it up however you want. Make it look like a black and white movie if you want to. Completely up to you. And they say video games are violent. Come on, man. Video games are whatever you want them to be. What a crazy, crazy time to be in gaming. Yeah, I think it does. That's why I bumped the palette up a little bit, bumped the intensity up a little bit. And I feel like sometimes, I wouldn't say we misuse it, but I feel like sometimes we use reshade to sort of compensate for our monitors, right? Like if you got an old blown out monitor, you're going to want to bump the colors up. But I think some games, you know, everybody tunes their palette differently. And I think some game developers, some game designers, they make their game look a certain way, and it might not be the way you want that game to look. But I think it's super cool that we have the ability to do this stuff. It's so different than when I was a kid when I was gaming. When I was a kid, you just, whatever you got, that's what you got. There was no modding. Well, I was playing on console. There was no modding. There was no reshade. There was no, you know, you'll get what I give you and you'll like it. This is very, very different. Oh, yeah. I don't know why, man, but, like, just slowly navigating through these hedgerows, I find it to be very relaxing. And did we miss a turn? No, it's just a big map. Hang on, let me double check. Nope, it's just a big map. All right. We're going to, I know it's sort of directly in front of us. Well, pop the map open here. Let's say it's field 3-7. Directly in front of us. And I will take a look. I assume this is Tom X55, as he's the original creator of Naveswell. So I think he did this as well, but I'm going to double check on the mod hub after I'm done, just to confirm that, because I would hate to not give, you know, proper credit. All right, and fortunately we left this gate open, so we can just duck right through here, or can we? It's a little tight. It's a little tight. Oh, we got it. All right. And this is a pretty big field. All right. I might do half of this and then hop on something else. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be completely just hopping around the map, but I do want to mix it up a little bit, try to do some fun stuff. I would guess, I mean, the long axis of this field is uphill and downhill. So we'll start up top, but I think it makes the most sense to do long lengths up and down, even if it does mean we'll be going uphill. The implement that we have on requires 90 horsepower, and we're at 235, so I think we'll have enough horsepower to drag this thing up the hill. I think we'll be okay. Let's just do lengths, and then we'll do headland afterwards. Yeah, let's do it this way. No, let's do a headland, and I'll tell you why. So we go third person here. If we cut a headland into this field and we do half of it and decide we want to do something else, we can leave the rest to a dumb worker. We can go grab the Ford, put the spreader on it, and maybe throw a little bit more fertilizer. Because I think, as much as I want to do a lot of things this episode, I think we're sort of limited because we're just getting started on this map. I think we're sort of limited on what we can do. So that's okay though. And do we have do we have four-wheel drive in VCA? VCA, and I don't think are we using drive control? This is hilarious. I don't even know what mods I have running. I mean, many. At the moment, I don't think I have drive control, and I didn't see in VCA. I didn't see. Yep, I don't see all-wheel drive or diff lock. I'll take a look. I may have been running a four-wheel drive mod. I may not have when I had the game installed before. So I don't know if we have or if we need four-wheel drive at the moment. All right, I'm just going to do just kind of a rough headland so our worker has something to work with if we hand it over to them. All right, hop back in here. And cruise control up and down. Why am I not remembering that? Cruise control. Toggle cruise control. So we got that. Over here. Cruise control. Speed up, slow down. Nope. Accelerate, stay right. Well, this is exciting. I know it. There we go. Increase cruise control. 2 and 1. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so if we go here, it's got to be while it's not activated. All right, Owen, you still in the house? What is an appropriate speed for that cultivator right there? I've got 5 miles per hour in right now. Let me know if that's about where we want to be. I don't know how the game picks what crops are in the fields when you start, or if the map maker does that, but this was cotton, was it not? The UK cotton? Or if it's a field that you don't own, I don't know if the game does that, right? Like it's a neighbor's field, and the neighbors can plant any crop they want. Unknown. Soil doesn't look bad. The dust effect doesn't look bad. I sort of miss the birds. I thought those were, the first time I played 19, I thought those were ridiculous, but I've really kind of come to like the birds. I would also like to see, at some point, more birds. Because I know when I watch real farmer videos, there always seem to be birds following tractors around. All right, and we're going to be smart here. We're going to lift that before we make this turn. Because if we made a turn that sharp, we'd probably snap the tines right off this thing. I don't want to do that. All right. Here we go. Yeah, not as realistic as cattle and crops, but a lot less stressful. And we'll try to, we'll get close to this gate, but I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to get back in the habit of painting fields. Try to be sort of purposeful in our movements here. And we can also, we can see here, I think Klaus is getting to be, maybe not done yet, but getting close. So when they do get done, we'll hop out. We'll hop out and put this on a worker momentarily. And then we'll go get the Klaus going in that field. So it would be, they're in field 1 right now, and we would get them started in field 7. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, and we knew that even before Cattle and Crops. I think we knew the game was pretty almost stylized. And look at all the realism mods for 17 and all the different ways that people tried to make the game more accurate to real farming. But I did notice in Cattle and Crops, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the video, but I did notice that the past couple sessions, it has seemed to be really grindy in that it's almost unbalanced as a game. It may be extremely accurate, but it's not necessarily balanced. And if anything, FS19, I think, goes too far in the other direction. It's also unbalanced in that it is too realistic. No, reverse that. It's not realistic enough and doesn't have enough of the things that you have in real life. But it does have a fun factor that at the moment I was sort of missing in Cattle and Crops. Not a bad game, just really intense, maybe it's a good way to say it. Really committing. I mean, ultimately, I think a game has to be fun, and it's sort of a, I don't know, meeting of the minds between the players and the developers. That you do want, or at least I want a game to be realistic, but I think sometimes what we want is, we want that feelism. It doesn't necessarily have to be realistic. It just has to feel realistic. And I call that feelism. So something like Zusi. Incredibly realistic, but not so much fun to play. I think I learned that, Ernie. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think I learned that, and it's now my only concern about it is because it is so involving that if you were to step away from the game for a few days or a week, when you got back into it, how long would it take to sort of find your place? I mean, I guess if you kept, I'm not being an ass when I say this, I'm serious. I guess if you kept a journal of some kind to sort of keep yourself aware of what you were doing in the game, and, you know, but as far as, you know, just dipping in and dipping out, I feel like it's more complex than that. There's just more going on than you can hop in. I used to watch streamers 3 and 4 years ago playing Farm Sim, and they really wouldn't do anything. They weren't in career mode. They would just drive around in tractors, and that's the sort of activity I mean, that is totally dip in and dip out because there's no long game. You can just do whatever you want. And all the way at the other end of the spectrum is a game so complex that when you step away from it, even for a brief period of time, that when you come back to it, it's like, no, wait, the hell was I doing? What's his name again? But I think it's just all about balance. And I have to say, I do sort of miss the 3D terrain deformation, but these soil textures are not, they're not bad. I think the only thing that's really missing is seeing the tire tracks. And the physics is, honestly, the physics in 19 is pretty dumbed down to, at least the field physics. I mean, the tractors on the road in Cattle and Crops felt a little drifty. But in the fields, the tractors felt, I would say, much better in Cattle and Crops than in 19. And we do have VCA running. All right, so I'm going to, let's square off the sides of this field. And this is going to be, so we want to be on 360, and we are. And then we want to say reset. Beautiful. Lower. And let's make a couple of straight rows, north and south. So when we do turn it over to the AI, they can have a good starting point. And I think, No, somehow the Colossus is still working. Okay. And when I saw Courseplay 6, I think it is. When I saw Courseplay and got that downloaded, I was thinking about Cattle and Crops, and I was wondering why Courseplay did not have. Well, I'm asking hypothetically, I'm asking rhetorically, but I can tell you the reason that Courseplay does not have this feature is because it is either extremely difficult or impossible to code, but that you could pull into a field with an implement on and essentially just press one button and it would generate the course, calculate the headland, do all that stuff. And you can do that one step at a time in Courseplay, but that it could do it all for you, because then the next step would be that you could just tell a worker, go to this field, and when you get there, do this. But I feel like that's not quite there yet. Yeah, we got one row behind us. There we go. But yeah, both games in their own way are definitely, I would say, amazing. I mean, Farm Sim it's such a weird title. I don't know if you've ever told a non-gaming person about Farm Sim, but they just get this confused look like, wait, you do what now? And I get Farmville a lot. Farmville that's a few years gone, but Farmville was like, what was that, smartphone game, Facebook game or something? Everybody was playing Farmville. So you mentioned Farm Sim, and people say, oh yeah, Farmville. I play that. And no, man, it's a whole different thing. But that there are, I guess, two different takes on Farm Sim at the moment. Or two different ways of sim farming. This is already set, so if we just do this. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. It didn't reset. Moment. It never reset. I thought when we made that... Yeah, we're still set to 24 meters. Alright, that is not an automatic thing. So we want to be right there. And then reset. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Drop that. Here we go. So we'll get the edges of this cotton squared up. We'll turn this over to a worker. We will go hop in the class. How they doing? They are in field 2 now. Am I seeing that correctly, or are they right on the edge of field 1? I don't know. Alright, we'll keep working here. I mean, for sure the hired workers in Farm Sim are not known for their intellect or initiative. They do really well in massive rectangular fields with a nice big grass verge, but get them in any type of tight terrain and they just, yeah, it's not good. Alright, so we'll get this squared off, then we'll get the class reset, and I don't know, we'll see how we feel. Have we done enough? Because we did plenty of fertilizing to start, and now we've done some cultivating. Maybe we move on to the next task. Just mix it up a little bit. It is fun being back in the game, though. I have been away from it for quite a while. Put it over here. Put that right over here. Okay. Yeah, there. I mean, it seems easy enough. It seems like the sort of thing you put on a wish list, like, hey, Giants, hey, Master Brain Bites. Why can't your workers just do this, right? It seems so easy, but clearly it's not, or somebody would have coded it by now. and I saw. I mean, it's an older mod. It was in 15, I think. It's called Auto Drive. I saw it. I didn't download it. I don't use it, but I want to say it's called Auto Drive, and it's like course play, but it's just for like road travel. I'm gonna get this little guy down here before my OCD triggers. There we go. I'm gonna go here. There we go. That's called Auto Drive. I think it's called Auto Drive, but it's essentially you create a series of routes around the map, and you can just tell your AI, go here. Sorry, got distracted. But I think if you were to combine that with course play and be able to tell your workers, like, okay, you're hooked up, you've got an implement on, drive to field whatever, right? And when you get there, cultivate or whatever. I think that would be fantastic. But I know that's like I said, if it was easy, somebody would have already done it. And the fact that after all these years, we're still sort of struggling with the AI tells me that this is kind of a big, complicated thing to do. And I know I'm sort of deadheading and not being super efficient as we work in this field. I'm finding my rhythm. It's been a minute. All right, so we'll come across the top here. Yeah, let's just do it this way. And no, I think our worker is definitely working in field 2 now. Yeah, I mean, I'm props to them, right, for really getting after it. We're getting our money's worth, but I don't know how they got into field 2. We'll go take a look. And we've got like a little half row here. Yeah, we'll get this one done, and then we'll sort that out. And in fact, the whole reason I'm doing this right now, creating this headland, is so what seems to be happening in field 1 doesn't happen here as well. Now, we could have done this with course play, but we'll figure it out. Meantime, I'm just having fun being back in the sim. All right, and we'll, yeah, there's, I think we're good enough. I'll clean up this little ragged bit down here at the end. Got a little triangle. I'll clean this up, and then we'll put this on a dumb worker, and we'll go see what's going on with what? Another working in field 7. I mean, all right. Right there. And then right down here. All right. I think this AI is going to have enough room to turn. I think they will. So there is, that's 0 degrees, right? Let's take a look here. We want dumb AI. Yep, everything's good there. Everything's good there. Get to work. We'll hop out. All right, there they go. Let's go see what's going on with our class. Gate is over here. I'll find it. And we'll leave this closed for the minute, because when the AI gets to the end of, say, this row right here, they're going to need to work around that. All right, let's run. Is it here? No, it's here. Right around here. There we go. So first, let's see how they did in field 1. And that is up here. Oh, you know what? Oh, we're okay. We're okay. It's when you look at the mini-map, it looks like the dot is in field 2. It looks like. I thought they were all the way down. Yeah, I thought they were all the way down here. I could not figure out how they got out of these fields. Okay. The mini-map is just a little bit off-center. Okay. We're all right. I knew I could trust my worker. I never had a doubt in the world. All right. Go this way. Try to stay off our field that we just worked on. Right through there, and we need to get down to field 7 now. I think we go around for that, baby. Right, we do. It's not through here. Yeah, it's down here. Okay. No traffic on this road. Carefully, all right. And it is right up here. Is this 7? This is 7. Okay. So if we come right up here. Oh, and what did I say for our AI starting field 1? What did I say? It was 4 minutes after 2 when they started, and it's 4:53, so about 45 minutes. Give or take, about 45 minutes for that field. Okay. Back in there somewhere. All right. Get them started. There they go. All right, let's take a look at things and see how we're doing. So we've got, when we go to fertilizer, I want to zoom in a little bit here. We go to fertilizer. Okay. Somehow field 1 is triple fertilized. And it's been plowed. And it's got lime on it. Okay, so we can start planting this field. I didn't think we'd get to that today. What do we want to put in here? What do we want to put in field 1? So if we go here, let's move up out of the way so our class doesn't run us over when it gets back. If we go to here, what can we plant? Wheat, barley, oat. canola. Canola is a good money crop. I mean, we plant it a lot, but it's a good money crop. But if we have animals, we could go with wheat. Well, we've got 4 fields to work with. Let's start with wheat. Okay. So then we go here. We look in the garage. And this is 122 horsepower in the T-dub. Right? So if we want to go cedars, 122. Go with the spirit. What do we have for mod? There we go. 165. We could do this with the fast track. Anything else? Aha. 260. No, 130. That's better. I thought that was a little heavy. 130. That's for that. Yeah, I kind of want to use this. It's 130, and our Ford is 122. I think we can get away with it. You want to risk it? Let's risk it. And can we plant wheat with it? Yes, we can. Okay. All right, so what we'll do is we'll lease this thing. We'll lease that. How are we doing on money? 171. Yeah, we'll lease that. We'll drive down there in the Ford. We'll pick it up. And we'll at least start putting wheat into field 1. Might not get done today, but we'll at least get started on it. And then we've got 4 fields fertilized. 1 field has been subsoiled. Our worker will get done with field 7, so we'll have 2 fields subsoiled, and we've got our other worker. How do we get out of here? We've got our other worker cultivating field 3-7. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, we'll finish up with a little drilling, as one does. I'm really glad I did this. I'm really glad it worked out the way it did. I have been curious about the Alpine Farming DLC. I haven't seen the Kverneland DLC at all. And I did want to sort of refamiliarize myself with the game before Precision Farming dropped in 2 weeks. So this all worked out. And that's... Oh, look at that. Even with the headlet, it's still not enough. It's never enough. All right. I can clean that up manually. We're sort of used to that. All right. Yeah, what do you like about it? What's working about it for you? Sneak right in here. Oh, yeah. I wanted to pull in far enough. I wondered, like, we definitely hit the wall when we got in here. I wondered how far in I pulled. Too far is the answer. Like so. And then out this way. This way. I'll play with reshade a little bit more. I feel like this is still looking kind of washed out. I do. It doesn't look bad, but I wouldn't mind seeing a little more pop. Yeah, do something else too. We've been first person all episode. Let's go third person a little bit. Just to mix it up. Has the draw distance been fixed? Did they do something with the draw distance in a patch? Because I'm feeling like, you know what I'm talking about. Draw distance in the Farm Sim franchise. Yeah, there it is. Out across that field, you can see it popping in there pretty radically. All right, disregard. Never mind. Now the nice thing is when you're down at this angle, the pop-in is really not a problem. It's a lot harder to see. And it's also something, I think, whether they ever intended it this way or not, but UK modders, UK map makers, or I guess a better way to say it is map makers who create UK style maps, because the sight lines are so tight and because of all the hedgerows, you never really get a long view. Unless you're Bullet Bill, I guess. You never really get a long view, so the pop-in is not a problem. Yep, I got you, Ernie. Yeah, I've got Season Pass, and I figured I own all this stuff anyway, so let's make the most of it. I wonder sometimes if developers, I mean, certainly developers are aware of other developers, even if that developer is not in their space. But I think a lot of devs could look at a company like SCS. I'm not being a fanboy when I say this, but SCS really knows how to make their customers happy. And, you know, you do what works in business. And I think taking note of the SCS model and really trying to give people good value when they get a DLC it's a smart way to do it. But yeah, I agree. There's a lot of really good equipment. It seems well rendered. Easy on the frame rate. I had a couple of mods. That I downloaded and almost immediately uninstalled them. This is like when you have that mod on the map, you drop to 30 FPS. That's still good. So for Giants to be able to create these detailed models with nice lighting, nice textures, right? Everything properly baked and everything just looks great. A lot of little details, dynamic hose, and for all that, you've got minimal to no impact on FPS. You know, kudos to them. Now we do have, let me take a look here. We do have a weight on the front of this thing. Real life, maybe pushing our luck. I mean, the T-Dub's not a small tractor, but this this drill we're fixing to put on here is just going to eat this thing up. Here we go. Let's see how this looks. All right. Is there... Moment, please. Is there something else we need to get? Is there another add-on we need to buy? Do we need to get a GPS module? Oh, we need to get this thing. I forgot about that. All right. Yeah, are we missing something? So that was under Cedars. We went all the way over. And I didn't... Oh, you know why that is? We're running Proceed. Oh, that's cool. That's... I'm ready for that to stop blinking. Sir. Hang on. All right, let's take a look in the key combo and see how we turn Proceed, how we bring this menu up. I think what's happening right now is Proceed is trying to activate, but because this tractor doesn't have GPS. Now, how would Proceed know that? I mean, obviously that little T-Dub does not have GPS, but how would Proceed know that? Because it's not base game. Need to install GPS onto tractor. Interesting. Straw harvest, alternate AI, course play. Looking for Proceed. Guidance steering. Here we go. Set tramline distance. Toggle half side. Toggle mouse cursor. Is that it? How do we have a Proceed menu that we can open like we used to? No, all the way down to VCA. Let me take a look on the mini menu here. Turn on power harrow. Toggle mouse cursor. Nope, not that. I'm at a loss right now. I mean, I don't think it's going to stop blinking. But how do we open a proceed menu? Let me try this. Select seed, open cover. No. Seasons menu. I mean, it used to be, what was it, 8? 7? Numpad? It's not that. All right. Go back here. I think I might have just turned some turn signals on. No, we're okay. Interesting. Let's turn this off so we don't waste fuel. And does anybody in chat know what is there a way to open the menu for Proceed? Does it have a menu like it used to? Or is there another? I looked in miscellaneous. I didn't see it. It wasn't in miscellaneous. All right. Here. Miscellaneous here. Oh, nice. Electric tractors. Fantastic. All right. I'm not seeing it here. Pardon me while I scroll through this stuff. That's landscaping. It's not under P for proceed, is it? Nope. I'm sort of stuck right now. I mean, does this mean if we're running proceed that we can't? No. That seems unfair. If we're running proceed, we can only use a drill on a GPS equipped tractor? No. Something's not right now. Let's figure this out. On sower, cruise control, set tram line distance, toggle mouse cursor. It's not that. Yeah. All right, we're gonna figure this out. So if we go here, increase axis, update pressure. It's the auto loader. That's something else. This is straw harvest. It's alternate AI. Course play. Course play. Follow me. Guidance steering. Yeah, it just says toggle mouse cursor. Middle mouse. Do we get those for here as well? Left button, right button, D-pad down. Left button, right button, D-pad down. Nope. That's not it. Is it here? Nope. Nope. All right. Not giving up. You know what? Let's try this. Gonna hop out here. A nice little view right there. Gonna have some coffee. And Googled it. Let's see what we got. FS19. FS19. Proceed. HUD not showing. There we go. So fix after 1.0.1. Still seeing no HUD. Yeah, I'm not even seeing a command for it. Let's try this. FS19 proceed key commands. All right. Ah. There's a bug with the HUD's position moving off screen. It's not my other screen, is it? No, it's not there. Okay. Turn the mod off, enter the game, then leave the game. Turn the mod back on. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, we can't use... I don't think we can use this tractor. Because we're going to have that... That's never going to go away. But I'm also... I'm just not seeing the HUD. I think it comes up automatically. Let's try this. Hang on. Let's try this. Let's be smart. So we'll lower that. Drop that. Pull this out of the way. Let's go here and lease a big tractor that we know has a GPS in it. What do we say? 140 horsepower? Yep, that's got GPS. Agri bumper. Right. Don't need that. All right. 145, good. Release that. All right. Hop out of here. Hop up in here. All right. Nope. What? What? Fat figured. It's my key command for cattle and crops. All right, so we'll fire this thing up. Let's get backed up. And see if, as soon as we hook this up, if we get the GPS, if we get the proceed menu, then I think it's, there's no way we're going to be able to use it with the T-dub. Do I have the GPS mod? I do not. I didn't know there was a GPS mod. Ah, you're a genius. Thanks, brother. All right. So we'll drop that. Pull forward. Forward, I said. We'll pull forward. We can return this thing before we spend any more money on it. All right. So we'll hop out of there. We'll go here. We'll go here. Garage. Leased items. Return that. Yep. All right. Where would I find the GPS mod? Is that something, I mean, is it in-game, or do I have to go back to the mod menu and download it? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere in here. I looked under miscellaneous. And here, and I didn't see it anywhere in here. Looked under placeables. Didn't see it anywhere in here. It's in Mod Hub? Okay. All right, let's take a look at our, let's see how our workers are doing. Hate to tab like that, but we got problems. This is a perfect place to stop them. They're at the end of a row. And then we'll tab over here. And wait till they get done with this row, and then we'll stop them. And we'll dip out into Mod Hub, get the GPS mod. Now, let me ask you this. Is it, So we're running the vehicle add-on mod. And I've also got guidance steering, but it's not activated right now. I use the guidance steering in the vehicle control add-on. Does the GPS mod sort of overwrite all of that? Will that be the GPS mod that we're using from here on out once we download it? Oh, look at our guy. Doesn't even care about hedgerows. Done with it. Over it. All right, let's back this up. Go right there. All right, we'll go here. We'll go here. Save game. Go back. Nope. Go back. Quit game. All right. And it is the mods. GPS. No content available. What about proceed? Proceed. Okay. Bundle of functionality. Proceed. Okay. Read the manual on my GitHub. Are you... What would that be under? Miscellaneous, I'm guessing. Dolly's weights. Other. Let's try under here. Bale wrap. Buy used equipment. Oh, guidance steering. Okay, I already got that. All right, so if we go back here, let's just confirm. GUI. Yeah, we've already got guidance steering. Okay. That's Wopster as well. Okay, easy enough. So we'll go back here. We'll go back here, back here, back here, and guidance steering. There it is. Okay, that's easy enough. All right, so let's tab through here. Straight away, we'll get this worker back to work. And in fact, I'm going to... nah, I won't. I was going to square up some of that, but let's not even worry about it. Let's just get them back to work. As you were. Right there. There they go. Pardon me while I tab one more time. Go over here. Get this one back to work. Yeah, I was curious how the game code would know whether or not we had GPS installed in a tractor. In the same way that, like the AdBlue DEF mod. Some of the base game equipment, like the newer stuff, does have DEF, but then older tractors do not, right? Because they wouldn't have it in real life. It's there. Beautiful. You got it. All right, so we will tab to the Ford, and okay, so if we want to install it now, do I need to buy anything? Or, like if we, oh no, it's a small tractor. So now if we just go small tractors and we go to our T-dub. Okay, so it is in there. Okay, I got you. So we will now do any tractors come with it already installed? and you have to install it on like non-standard tractors, or do you have to install it for any tractor that you drive? Thanks for the tips, Knight. I do appreciate it. So we go right in here. Clip through the wall. Engine off. Let's go right over here. Customize. And while we're here, bump that up and let's add a little horsepower to this as well, because that thing requires 140. We were at 122. That was close. This is 137. That's closer. All right. 22 grand. Ow. Ow. It hurts. Okay. So once again, back in here. Fire up. The T-Dub. I don't know. I know there are some on the mod hub, and I had some in my leftover mod folder from when I had 19 installed previously. You have to install it in them all. Fair enough. Now again, if it was me, I know mods, you can't keep track of all of them, there's too many, but I would say like more realistic, covered all base game vehicles in 17. It would be cool if any tractor in real life, GPS not active on this vehicle. Now what? Ah, okay, I see it down there. I can see some icons down there that weren't there before, so let's go back here. And it's called, what, guidance steering? So that's GS. We did just buy it, right? We did just install it for 22 grand. So where is it? Here we go. Toggle guidance steering. Toggle guidance steering menu. Left control S. Left control S. Left control S. Left alt C. Left control S. Does nothing. Left control S. Alright, left alt C. Ah. Okay, left alt C turns it on. Ah. Okay, so you have to activate it. Now, we've got Proceed installed. We didn't have guidance steering. I was using the VCA steering. This is significantly more comprehensive, so we'll go with this instead. Okay. So you have to turn it on first. So that is when we have it off. Control S does nothing, but once you activate it, then we get the menu. Okay. All right, let's fill this thing up and then make our way up there. And yeah, we'll go from there. And I think, yeah, because we're going on 2 hours, 20 minutes. We will make our way up there, get started. Maybe we'll just go till this tank is empty. And then we'll call it. All right. So we need to buy some seed. We need to buy some wheat seed. And this thing holds 1,200, I think. So we'll buy 2 of these, because we have other fields to seed after this one. And I don't know off the top of my head whether or not there are seeds available at the farm. There may be. Where are they? I can't see around my drill. There they are. So let's lower this thing. Oh, that's cool. Oh no, the cover's opened and I thought it was because we lowered it, but it's because we pulled up next to seed bags. Alright. It's full. Lift it. Oh, poor T-Dub. Cover back on. First person. Put it in gear. Here we go. Alright, that worked out. Thanks, Knight. I do appreciate it. Got me sorted out. And I think Wobster makes VCA, do they not? So if Wobster makes VCA and guidance steering and Proceed, Richard, I would take a look on the Mod Hub. I think that's where I found mine. If not, hit me up in Discord. Send me a DM in Discord, and I'll see if I can figure it out for you. Off the top of my head, I've been away from the game for so long, I can't even tell you whether or not it's private. I'm not being a dick when I say that, like I'm not teasing you or something, but I really don't remember specifically which of my mods are private and which aren't. But hit me up in Discord, and if it's public, I'll send it to you or drop it on Google Drive or something. All right. Well, this has turned into... This is very unexpected. When I woke up this morning, I did not think I would be playing FS19, but I'm really glad that I am. I'm having a great time. I think it's safe to say I've missed this sim. I do prefer 17, but burning myself out in cattle and crops, I think has, I don't know, maybe given 19 kind of a new lease on life. And we'll be very careful. I know this thing's only 3 meters, but we'll be very careful on these narrow lanes. Right through here. Yep. And then we want to go right at the sign. Is that correct? Yeah, we want to go right at the sign. And then down and around the bend and then up that 2 track. Yeah, I think that's how we get to field 1. I'll mess around with Reshade a little bit more tonight. I thought I gave it some more pop, but it is still looking a little, I don't know, a little gray. See if we can sort that out. All right, let me make our turn. This is kind of a big map. Original Naveswell was fairly small, was it not? It was like a quarter of a card. And then there was Naveswell Extended. I feel like this is even bigger than Naveswell Extended. All right, so we go right through here. All right, there we go. And before we get started, let's see what we want to do about tram lines. I mean, it's been a minute since we've been able to put tram lines in, but I don't know what spreader I'm going to be using. Now, we've got the variable spreader width mod running, so we can sort of make it whatever we want. But as always, I don't know how wide the fields are, so I don't know how many even lengths it'll take. Like, if the field is, whatever, 60 meters wide, we could do 3 of 20 or 4 of 15, but I feel like there's no way to measure the width of a field, at least none that I know of. Oh, tight. All right, and then right up here, here we go. I'm hoping as I get this thing set up I don't drop it, but it's possible I might, because there's going to be a lot of compound key commands. All right. Oh, T-Dub is on that struggle bus. We made it. And we do have a power arrow on here because we got some little bits of the map that are maybe not bits of the map, bits of the field. Hey, Jim Agra, how you doing? We've got some little bits of the field here that are not... our worker didn't quite take care of them. So we want... I can't see my compass anymore. I just realized that. Yeah, I can use the other one. Okay. So we're good there. I'm going to go third person. Well, thanks, Liam. You know, it's entirely possible that this is private, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to ask a couple people in Discord before I start, like, making it available. But... I honestly can't remember. It's been so long since I played the game. Okay, so we want to go here. Do we have to lower this? That's already lowered. All right, so we go... Nope, nope, nope. Don't start yet. We go here, and then we need to open this. All right. So guidance steering will be on. Show lines is on. Offset reversal, we don't need that. Terrain angle. You know, honestly, I don't know. I personally am extremely careful with private mods. I don't have any mods other than... Well, there are mods that I have Bone Crusher mods that I've done work on, that I've edited, but I don't make those available to anybody. And I kind of ask the same thing. Like, if somebody else has a mod that belongs to another person and they've done work on it, that... I don't necessarily want it because it's not really the original modder's mod anymore. Does that make sense? I try to be super, super careful about that. It's not perfect, but I try to be, you know. Try to be. All right. So this is, you see the acting strategy on the headland. Stop. Does that mean it's going to stop and lift? Oh. And is it calculating all this automatically? So, auto width. No, that's not right. This thing's... Oh yeah, it is 3 meters, and that's in feet. So that is the width of it, right? And then this is going to be... what is this? Oh, that's the offset. We don't need that. It's trying to be a straight line method. Where do we put in our tram lines? Or do we do that manually? Headland mode. I'm not seeing tram lines anywhere. But we can worry about that another day. Let's just get started here. AB straight. AB, a heading. I don't know what that means. All right. Well, that's all I see for here, so let's give it a go. Oh, it's because this is guidance steering, not proceed. All right. So there's that. Please create or... Oh, God. Now what have I done? Please create or load a track first. Moment. So we're going to go back here. Track name... call this Purbeck 1 3 meter. Purbeck field 1 3 meter. Sound about right? Please create or load a track first. I thought that's what I was doing. Base group. Once again, I'm at a loss. Turn that. So that's the name of it. We need to... how do we transfer this over to here? Failed to save track data. Please create or load a track first. Are we supposed to, like, drive one line? Yeah. Yep, I think we are. Yep. Beat me to it. So we need to... So that's A. Right? And we need to... I'm just going to do this with the implement up. We're going to drive forward. Damn it, forward. We're going to drive forward. Right about like... So... Right? Set the brake. Go back in here. Set B. Right? Got that done. And then... There we go. Okay. So now... We can back this up. Back this up. Right here. And then the next thing we need to do is open Proceed. Do we need to open Proceed? Because I feel like that's where we're going to see our tramline info. Guidance steering. Set tramline distance. Left control R. Left control R. Left control R. That's left control, that's R. Nothing happened that I could see. Does it need to be turned on? Let's try this. Alright, let me go back here. Left control R. Yeah, at the moment, no response. So I think we'll need to wait a bit on Proceed. We're running it. We just don't seem to be getting any type of response. The mouse control, yeah, and it used to be, was it over here? Yeah, we'll save that for another day. All right, so we're gonna hop in here, pull forward a little bit, lower, lower. There we are. Cruise control, here we go. And we'll back this speed down a little bit. There we go. Maybe not quite that far. And I feel like we're not, I mean, we can drive it manually, but I feel like we're not on guidance steering at the moment. We still streaming? My preview dropped off. I'm going to wait till I get to the end of this row and pop it back up. But we are... I'm flying blind right now. All right. I need to find the... I'll go back in. Line in the middle needs to be green. So if it's green, that indicates that you are on guidance steering. Get to the end of this row, I'll pop the key commands open one more time. I mean, for now, I can just kind of drive it down the middle, but I would like to figure out the right way to do this. Right on. All right. And we used, it looks like about... We're going to be about 3%, 4% of our seed for one length. We'll have to see how wide this field is. But we've got a little bit down. I think we've got 800 liters still down at the store. So we'll figure it out. All right. Oh, and I just looked over. How loud is the audio? How loud is the tractor right now? Does the gain need to be turned down at all? I've got it down pretty far, but I can turn it down further if it's too loud. looks like. Call it good right about there. Now we've got, we did have headland mode in, did we not? We did have headland mode turned on. However, I don't think I... Oh, it turn around here. We had headland mode turned on, but I don't think... Is it... oh, that's that one. Interesting. Okay. It's like it only covered about half that row. Huh. Okay. Figure it out. We'll figure it out. There we go. Right back there. Break, and we need to go here. Sounds seem okay. Okay. If the game gets too loud, I don't know why, but XSplit seems to really favor game audio over microphone audio. So if the game is ever too loud in this or anything else, do let me know and I can drop the volume down. Let's see. It's the steering menu. Point auto width. Okay. Steering guidance. Left Alt X. Is that right? Left Alt X. Let's give it a try. Left Alt X. That seems to be the winner. All right. So we'll lower. Cruise control. Here we go. And now that we have this on, I want to hear if it, because we've got the headland tone set at 30 feet. So we'll do all our lengths and then we'll go back and clean up, put the headlands in. I just need to see if it beeps when we get to the edge of the field to let us know when we need to lift the implement so that all the edges are the same, right, when we go back in and do our headlands. Well, this is really cool. This has really worked out well. I needed something different. This was definitely it. So we're going to hear a tone when we're, what, 10 meters from the edge of the field? And I've always been curious, right, because the different implements, like if we go outside and look at this thing, it's got a power harrow up front, it's got a seeder in the back. So I would want it to lift so that the edge of the seed was even at the end of all the lengths. So when we went back in and did our headlands, that we just, you know what I mean, just went right along the edge of everything that had already been seeded. All right, let's listen and see if we get a tone here. Right there. All right. So does that mean we lift right at that spot? Or was that the first warning? All right, we're still learning. I'm going to go a little further. Oh, okay. It stops. It like stops. So if we lift this now, can we then pull forward? No. That's interesting. Ah, very cool. Okay. So it absolutely stops you until you come off guidance steering. I like it. Now, can we start seating here? We're going to do this just as a test. Yeah, we can. Okay. We don't want to, but we could. We want to drop this right about here. Yeah, a little bit of Spanish. Enough. How's that, Sergio? I know enough Spanish. What's on your mind? What are you getting at? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I hope I have a lot of subs too. It's getting there, a little bit at a time. Yeah, the speed feels just about right. I mean, 4 miles per hour with a 3-meter implement, it is going to take us quite a while to do this field, but it's appropriate, you know, for this type of map. I think it's appropriate. All right, let's see where we stop when we get to the edge of the field. So it's stopping us at a specific place, but when we restart again, right? Like when we want to drop the drill again, I'm trying to think where the best place would be for that. Okay, there's our warning. And then right up here, nothing. Okay. So we lift that. You turn around here. Yeah, we are, I would say, right on the limit of not enough horsepower for this rig. Hang on. I feel like we have an offset. I feel like we do. Hang on. We do. Should this be 0? No, this would be... Oh. I'm baffled. What is this? What is this number right here? Do we want this to be 0? Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by this, but taking a look outside again, snap terrain angle, offset reversal is off. We can't see the lines. We do have the headland mode on. This we set up okay. When you take a look out here, 2 different rows now, we have kind of a gap. What's up with that gap? Or is it because, hang on, this thing is 3 meters wide, 9.84 feet. Wouldn't 3 meters be closer to 9 even? Meters a little bit over a yard. I don't know. I just want to know where that gap is coming from before we do too much more of this field. Because, I mean, a couple little rows I can fix, but I don't want to be driving back and forth across the entire field filling in gaps. All right. Oh, you know what? Here's what we can do. We go over here. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Does that have anything to do with tram lines? Uh-huh. Does that have anything to do with tram lines? And what was it? Control set tram line distance. But I'm not seeing a menu for this. So when we mess with the tram line distance, like what? Can we see any type of menu to like let us know what's happening? Oh, you know what? That could be what people are talking about when they say they have no proceed menu. Interesting. Yeah, because we have no way of seeing what's happening with proceed right now. I think our menu is... Yep, I'll take a look. Okay, what to do? What to do? I don't want to do too many more rows, and we end up with half a row. Let's try one more and see how we do. And we're coming up on 3 hours anyway, so that could be time to call it. All right. So this is where it stopped us. Right about here. All right, so we'll go left alt X, lower, and cruise control. There we go. That looks like a tram line. The one to the left of us right now, like the next one to the left, that looks like half row cutoff. Okay. So when I was just mashing buttons, you know what I mean? I think I got a few extra. Got a few extra in there, things we didn't need. Let me hop in here. And now that's off. Why is that off? Huh. All right. Let me do this. Let me go into my XML file and figure out where my proceed menu is. The thread that I read while we were in stream, I think indicated that something gets corrupt in the XML and the XY coordinates for the placement of your proceed menu, just put it off screen. So we need to bring that back on screen. And then right up here, that was half row cutoff, so that's my fault. Okay. We'll figure it all out. And it is, yeah, that is 2 hours, 50 minutes. I think that's about right. I think we can call it. Cool. So I will get this sorted out. Proceed and guided steering. Thank you for all your tips, chat. I do appreciate it. So I will get this sorted. And then we will, it stops us right. Oh, that's beautiful. It stops us right there. Same place every time. So we'll lift that. We can turn all this off. There we go. Take a set. We'll come off guided steering. That's running hot and working hard. So we'll let that keep running. We'll go check on the class and the fast track, and we'll call it. All right, that worked out. Worked out really well. And you see here? I think they're both done. All right. So we'll go down here. We'll go to the left first and then to the right. All right, I'll get the proceed menu back on screen. And tomorrow let's do Euro Truck tomorrow. I've been meaning to do that for quite a while. So let's do Euro Truck tomorrow. And then the day after, who knows? All right. Our worker decided to take a little break. I'll clean this up manually, but bulk of that field is done. And then over here, we'll see how our fast track did. And we'll call it. Beautiful. All right. Right up here. Oh, it's so nice to be back on a UK style map. This is good stuff. And there's our guy. There might be a little bit more cleanup over here as well. But hopefully not too bad. All right. Hardly any at all. Looks like just across the bottom of the field. All right. There you have it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all your help today. I appreciate it. See you back here tomorrow. We'll do some ETS. I got to drive back from St. Petersburg back to either Oslo or Bergen. So that'll be a nice long drive. Northern Coast, I'll take a look as soon as I'm done. I appreciate it, Ernie. Thanks, brother. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.